I have been so busy working on my own project that I legit lost track of Kobold Press doing an insane discount on some of their best books. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters. If you are a fan of Kobold Press, this one is for you because I missed it and I know some people who have missed it, but they're doing a 30% discount on some of their best-selling, best-produced, best-written books from the Midgard campaign setting. So this is me looking at that discount, at that promotion on their website and actually giving you a little bit of a top 3 of which books to pick up with this promotion. And before we dig in, you got until the last day of October this month to actually buy this stuff for these insane prices. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Would you just look at this absolute insanity? These prices are just wild, and these books you can get for a limited time at this price. It's just one of the best sales I ever came across, especially for Kobold Press, because they're such a high quality publisher, a high quality producer of books, especially in the Midgard campaign setting, which is the main setting that I play in with both of my parties at the moment, actually. So they're doing a Midgard 10th anniversary sale. So Midgard, it's been 10 glorious years of Midgard setting from the Northlands to the Plains, and to celebrate, we're offering 30% off of the most popular elements of this setting from October 10 to October 31. So as of recording, you still have a few days, 4 days or something like that to pick this stuff up. And yeah, there's more. So there's all these books, and there's even like stuff for Pathfinder First Edition, if I'm not mistaken. This bundle includes 3 PDFs at 73% off. So if there's people still playing Pathfinder First Edition, or make sure to check that out. But that's just not what my channel is all about. We're all about 5th edition right now. So these are the books within the Midgard campaign setting. I have all of these, so I am not going to buy these for these limited prices, but I want to kind of guide you through what to buy or what not to buy. Well, you can buy anything. All of these books are pretty much amazing, but there's a few that are amongst my personal favorites. So I made a kind of like a top 3 of which books you can get at what price. So I'm gonna assume that you already own the Midgard Worldbook. If you're watching this video, or if you're a Kobold Press fan, and if you're playing Midgard, I'm gonna assume you already have the Midgard Worldbook, which is an amazing book. And if you don't have it and you're looking for a new campaign setting, or you're into Midgard or whatever, make sure to pick it up. It is a big book. It has such, like, every page you read and every sentence you read, you get like new campaign ideas. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just amazing. So I have a few books that I really like. I like all of them, but I have a top 3 because why not make a top 3? The first one I want to talk about really quickly is Scarlet Citadel. If there was ever a time to pick up this insanely well-written, classical-feeling dungeon crawl, now is the time. It is like a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon crawl the way they used to write them, right? I might sound a little old school here, but this thing feels old school, but it is written in a new school fashion. The artwork is great, the writing by Steve Winter is great, and on top of that, it kind of functions as a little bit of a Dungeon Master's Guide, an extension to the Dungeon Master's Guide, where it has an entire section before it even goes into like the Scarlet Citadel itself. It goes into how to run dungeon crawls for your game at your table, like the Dungeon Master's Guide does. Give you tips around like how to run your games and stuff like that. This does the same thing, but for dungeon crawls. It goes into like how to handle dark vision. It goes into like how to handle treasure, how to handle short rest, long rest, all of that stuff. There's so much valuable information in there. I swear to God, it's worth the price for that alone. On top of that, you get this ridiculously cool dungeon crawl, which is I mean, it is big. It goes all the way, the classical style adventure for 10 levels of play, fully compatible with the 5th edition of the world's oldest role-playing game, like traps, new monsters, yeah, it can easily be paired with the Scarlet Citadel map folio, which is also on here, by the way. So right now, you can get it for like the hardcover for $28, down from $40, right? That's just a steal. In my opinion, that's an amazing steal. If you want to get the map folio, I have a review of this, by the way. If you want a map folio, you have 13 poster maps and 20 overlays for $35 right now. Okay, the PDF, $17.5 down from $25. These are absolute steals, I swear. You will not be able to get like any better deal for this probably ever. Next one I want to talk about is a little bit older, and it's one of my first favorite books from Kobold Press, and it's Tales of the Old Margreve. I'm going to try to click it. Yes, it works. You can now get this as a Tales of the Old Margreve for 5th edition hardcover and PDF bundle for $30. So $30 for Tales of the Old Margreve, and just the hardcover is $28. So make sure if you don't have the PDF, make sure to just get the PDF for $2 extra, right? The PDF alone is $14, so it is Tales of the Old Margreve. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Although this is one of my all-time favorites from Kobold Press, it might have been beaten by one of their newer books at the moment, because I opened this up again after a while, and it kind of, like, design-wise and just printing-wise or whatever, I don't know what, I cannot put my finger on it, but it kind of shows shows its age towards like the newer books. Now there's only like a few short years between that, so it's not really old or whatever, and it's not like really a third edition or 4th edition book. It is a legit good 5th edition book that you can plug into your campaign. The reason why I picked this one and this one as favorite books is the Scarlet Citadel is a dungeon crawl with a town and everything that you can just place in any campaign. It is written for Midgard, but believe me, drag and drop it into your campaign, it perfectly works perfectly well. The Tales of the Old Margreve is the same. It's a bunch of mini adventures that your players can have while they are going from A to B through a magical enchanted forest. And on top of that, you get this entire chapter again with stuff on how to play the forest itself, because the forest is alive, and if there's people that like pee against the wrong tree or whatever, the tree will slap them in the face, and it's all that stuff where the forest either rewards the players by making distances shorter or whatever, or they kind of like punish the players when they're doing bad stuff to the forest. It is a really cleverly designed book, and I like, for this money, you should just go to the Kobold Press store and pick it up. Before we go into my #1 recommended book, I want to really quickly say I'm still running a Kickstarter campaign called The Quintessential Guide to Monstrous Encounters with Wally DM and Dungeon Dad. We are almost funded, so make sure to click the link in the description below and help us towards our goal. And then there is the last one that I really advise you to pick up outside all of the other ones, right? So this one is not one of my favorites per se, like my real personal favorites. This is more like an objective book that I always recommend people to pick up if they truly want to expand their campaign setting or the Midgard campaign setting. And that is none other than the Southlands campaign setting. The Southlands campaign worldbook thing is really, really, really great. If you have the Midgard Worldbook, you would probably have noticed that there is a section on the Southlands, which is a good section, and it really spawns a lot of ideas for campaigns and whatever. And what they've done is they've taken that section and stretched it out across an entire book, which is, I don't know, 312-ish pages thick of just pure Southlands lore, storytelling, campaign IDs, NPCs, cities, and it is such a rich environment. It's ridiculous. It has these islands, it has these main parts where dinosaurs live, parts where there's more catfolk, desert, jungle, there's a freaking fountain of water coming out of the sky constantly. There's the Istagal Raiders that I am now using as a plot point for my newer campaign with one of my parties. It is the true extension to your game at the moment for me personally. Not only the Midgard campaign setting, you can use like 99% of this is usable for whatever you are doing. So it is just like, yeah, for $41, sorry, $42, $41.99 instead of the $60, you get the hardcover and the PDF. And believe me, when I first got my hands on the Southlands book, I was kind of like reading it and finding a lot of the stuff cool and just looking at the artwork. And it took me a few weeks to realize how usable it was. And then I bumped in, for example, to the Istagal Raiders, which are a bunch of, I did a video on this, by the way, a bunch of pirates that saves slaves. Get those slaves, use them as crew to save more slaves, basically. So they're kind of like a neutral to good thing, at least in my game they are. And they, I started playing in the Southlands due to this like one sentence that introduced them. And since I've been playing in the Southlands, I've been glued to this thing. Like, I've been reading it. I've almost read this thing cover to cover. It is so well written. It just shows what Kobold Press can do with a bunch of IDs, with a bunch of like genius people that work for Kobold Press. By the way, I don't work for Kobold Press. This is just me pointing you towards a discount that you could really like save some money on and get some ridiculously cool books. And that is it. And of course, there are the Warlock Grimoire 1, 2, and 3, which are amazing little books. There's the Warlock Lairs, which is, yeah, it's just a really cool book full of lairs, which is pretty new. There's the player guide to the Southlands, which I am like a little bit less of a fan of. Personally, there is the map folio for Scarlet Citadel. If you're playing on your table with miniatures, this thing, the value is insane. I have a review on it, it's just insane. There is the Worldbook, there's the Hero's Handbook, and there is the Margreve Player's Guide that is actually like tied into Tales of the Old Margreve down here. And then there is the Margreve Player's Guide that kind of have like as playable races and classes and everything tied into the Old Margreve Forest. So all of this is worth picking up. If you're picking up a Warlock Grimoire, keep in mind, I don't know if they changed this for the PDF already, it's actually, but like the original print had like an issue for me personally with like the index, but they fixed that in the second one and the third one. It is just all like, this is legit one of the best promotional things I've seen Kobold Press do since I know them. Until next video, bye bye.